Hello everybody, welcome back to Resurrections Cup, and we are back into the round of 32 stage, continuing on this epic weekend. We've already seen the tiebreaker, which is awesome, and hopefully this matchup will be another TV. Here's hoping. I'm Sad Shiva. Joined by me today is the wonderful Subaru Arima.
Hello, thank you for this introduction.
Hello. Yeah, this is a good early matchup. I mean, granted, it's still a little bit far away. Grease Monkey and widepeepoHappy. Grease Monkey being seed 11 and widepeepoHappy being seed 22. But I think this is a pretty kind of okay early matchup. We could see a bit of a closer match here later on, considering this is early stages. The earlier the stage, the more likely the upset. And yeah, I think Grease Monkey, of course, on paper have the better roster, but there's always a chance for a comeback, especially with a couple noble players on widepeepoHappy being B-Prod and Callan.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, on paper, Grease Monkey should have the solid advantage. The seeding gap is relatively large, but I actually, fun fact, in my pick'ems, I have this match going to TB. I think that as you pointed out, a couple of star players on widepeepoHappy could probably carry a few points, but overall, I think the team is looking really solid.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. I think there's always a chance for that, especially in early stage. These map pools are a little bit more on the lower side of the starring compared to the qualifiers. It is the easiest pool that we will see in this tournament, as it is the first weekend, so there's always room for upsets.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's always room for close matches.
It's a really massive decrease in difficulty compared to the qualifiers pool for sure.
The average star rating for this map pool here is about 6.8 stars. The highest star rating we've got is on the TV, which is 7 stars, which is a custom song, might I add. Very, very cool. And that's kind of why I'm really eager. I really want to see it on TV, because especially casting it live. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, so very exciting for that. Let's look at the rosters here for Grease Monkey. These guys have a solid kind of all-round no mod team, especially on Hard Rock as well. We've also got a few good mechanics players. We've got Paper Candle, Penguinzy, Melva, Bunny Like Money, Wempress, Jackpacks, Kadama, and Salvatore. And on the side of widepeepoHappy, we've got Flames Tier, Bazinga's Dead, B-Prod, Fie, Kalanlu, Konochi, Net Nesia. Oh my god, my tongue just messed up completely on that. Nasanya, and I also love Uma. So we've got these lineups. We know who's who. This is a first to 5 matchup. And how are the roles looking like?
Yeah, those players, some of them like to make it not easy for us to pronounce their names.
Oh my god, there are some other teams that have absolutely absurd names that I don't even want to try and pronounce.
Yeah, it looks like it's widepeepoHappy winning the roll with a roll of 25.
Okay.
So quite the early strategic advantage for the lower seeded team.
So widepeepoHappy have a little bit of room here. They've got a little chance to decide whether they want to go first pick or first ban. But looking at the ban options here, widepeepoHappy kind of see their core strengths here. They want to maybe get rid of that kind of that normal diversity, maybe getting rid of a normal 4 or normal 3. Hard Rock is also a particular one, considering Grease Monkey have a very high statistic on the qualifier stage. I believe they are I could be wrong on this sheet, but I believe they got number 3 on Hard Rock. I'm going to quickly double check that, because I could be wrong and I could be getting the teams mixed up. But I do know they are a very strong Hard Rock team, so Hard Rock 1 is probably going to be a map that they are going to be very aware of, a map they're probably going to ban. Yes, they got 3rd on Hard Rock 1, which is very frightening and probably something that they instantly want to get rid of.
Definitely, especially considering that the pools are in fact a little bit easier, which also means that this is more of a consistency challenge than a skill cap map. So if you're not completely comfortable on Hard Rock, playing such a strong Hard Rock team, you definitely want to ban that.
Yeah, I agree. Comfort's a much bigger thing here, rather than complete raw power skill cap. Star players are going to be a little less impactful if they're not consistent enough. So getting rid of your opponent's core strength is a bit of a better gamble here, considering that most map pools in the early stages aren't too biased towards skill sets. Granted, they do have requirements, but they're not going to be nearly as kind of heavy and as intense, and you can get a player who might not be as comfortable, perform decently well, get a good filler score in there, maybe budge your team a little bit more closer to a map win.
Yeah, I would say in this map pool, the only aspect that would probably reach some players' skill cap would be the speed on maps like DT3 with the 263 BPM.
Yeah,
so
kind of agree on that, yeah.
if you're not completely comfortable on speed, you can definitely look to ban that against a team with a solid speed roster. Which a lot of teams these days have a solid team speed roster, so you definitely want to ban that. Anyway, we are about to see... I see someone mentioning hip kill in the chat. I will try not to sound biased, as there are 2 French players on Team widepeepoHappy.
Yeah, try. Let's not be too hyped. Let's not have you jump out of your seat if they get a clutch, man.
Of course, of course. B-Prod,
yeah,
especially notable B-Prod. Oh, paper candle. Anyway, B-Prod, yeah, most notable player being on the French 3WC team earlier this year. We are seeing the Hard Rock 1 being banned, as you called. Nice call.
yeah. They are gonna go for that ban. I'm a bit surprised actually to see it be Paper Candle banning it. Considering Grease Monkey got 3rd in qualifiers, that's a bit of a strange ban. Not sure how to feel about that actually. Granted, widepeepoHappy do have a decent hard rock core, but considering that they've gotten very good results in qualifiers, especially considering that they're much higher star rating, I'm a little surprised to see Grease Monkey be banning on qualifiers as one of their strongest strengths.
It might be a surprise on paper, but considering this Hard Rock 1 is significantly easier, maybe they just don't want to go for the consistency challenge, as you pointed out, widepeepoHappy also do have a couple of capable Hard Rock players, so losing a map on which you theoretically would have been very favored is probably a bit of a mental hit. So
it could be that.
Don't want to risk that.
Another potential option is that they may be missing one of the core hard rock players that made that result possible.
Yeah, that would also be an option.
And maybe kind of losing that waiting battle between whose players are the strongest on hard rock. Maybe they decide maybe it's not something we should take. Maybe not a risk we should go for. I'm surprised to not see a hidden ban at all from Grease Monkey, considering they've got Callan and B-Prod and widepeepoHappy, who are more than capable of performing well on these hidden picks. But we are going to go to the pick stages first for widepeepoHappy. What do you think that entry pick's going to be?
I'm not quite sure. As you pointed out, they could go for one of these hidden maps as an opening pick. Definitely would be solid. Maybe a free mod. With a player like Kalanlu, for example, a player like B-Prod, you could go both on modded scores and 2 solid no-mod scores. Free mod might be an option. I see they banned DT2, so probably are looking to avoid the speeds or stream skill cap.
Yeah, so free mod 2 is probably going to be something that they want to maybe avoid. Maybe Grease Monkey want to lead that in. But granted, widepeepoHappy are more than capable of excelling more on kind of raw tapping mechanics. DT2 a little bit more on the finger control side, so maybe they want to avoid the finger control specifically. So far though, I gotta say, these bans are quite questionable. I'm a little surprised on both of these bans here. I don't know why widepeepoHappy didn't go for a Hard Rock 1 ban, and I don't know why Grease Monkey didn't go for a hidden ban. These bans are very strange at the moment, but we are going to be seeing our entry pick here of No Mod 2 for widepeepoHappy. No surprise here. These guys have some really good stream players.
Yeah, definitely an opening pick, looking quite solid. But yeah, coming back to what you were saying about that Hard Rock 1 ban, I'm guessing they're probably missing a player. That's the only logical solution.
Yeah, and Sherry is going to be Sherry Ruth. What's going to be picked next here? First entry pick of this match. No Mod 2. And for widepeepoHappy, safe to say that they're probably going to be bringing in the players that made that tapping so prominent. We're probably going to see Flames Tear. We're probably going to see I Also Love Uma. Maybe Bazinga's dead if he is in. He hasn't got any qualify info, but from the brief research that I did on him, he does seem to be very competent on streams. Flame in particular. So potentially he's going to be in for this lineup. For Grease Monkey, though, I think there are a few options here. Paper Candle in particular is probably a player that I'm looking out for to be playing on this roster.
Probably Penguinzy as well. Penguinzy, really solid mechanics player. I wonder if Kadama would be in for Nomad 2. Maybe not. I mean, it's not the hardest Nomad 2 stream map in the world, but it's definitely more oriented towards flow aim than it is towards stamina. Being only 185 BPM, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this number 2 is primarily flowing, 185 BPM, quite a few diesel axle, and yeah, very much on the flowing heavy side, not too stamina intensive. But towards the late stages, I would say stamina probably plays a bit of a part, considering the streams are a little bit longer, especially in the final disc spike, where that flowing and stamina really hits you hard because it's a super long ending stream. But aside from that, yeah, pretty standard flowing heavy normal 2. Nothing kind of too out of the blue, but it does have some diesel axle and some funky patterns here and there, but nothing too crazy.
Actually, earlier today in one of the matches, I can't remember which one it was, but you saw, I believe it was Hernori, he was holding onto like a 99% FC until that ending stream you mentioned, and then he just like fully dropped the stream and lost 100k points. It was terrible. You can really chain miss those streams really badly, so definitely looking to be really focused on that opening pick.
Yeah, and that's what makes this final stream towards the end very, very frightening, I think, for any team that's picking into this, because if it's a close bout, if both of these teams are more than competent, you're going to really be dreading that final stream, where we could see some very quick flips. But here we go. We're starting off this map between greasemonkey and widepeepoHappy. For greasemonkey, we've got Papercandle, Penguinzy, Jackpax, and Melva. And for widepeepoHappy, Bazinga's dead, and I also love Uma, as I called earlier, with Fier and B-Prod as well.
Yeah, double French player going on first map. Yippee. And yeah, Penguinzy, Papercandle, definitely looking to be carries for greasemonkey's performance. Yeah, you definitely want to avoid the shakes. We see an early miss from Jackpax, not too impactful, it's the very beginning of the map. This map is quite short, however, so definitely not looking to miss too much. So far, the opening most accuracy is remaining very high, with still a decent number of SSs in the lobby.
This number 2, about 2 minutes and 37 seconds long. That early miss from Jackpax remains to be the only break so far here in this lobby. greasemonkey holding on to a very tiny disadvantage, but we haven't seen any breaks from then on. It remains consistent for the rest of the lobby, but Bazinga's dead going to be the next one to break here for widepeepoHappy. The score lead is now going to flip, but Jackpax trades it. It's back to square one here for both of these teams. Once again, widepeepoHappy maintained their lead so far. Accuracy does remain in favor of greasemonkey, but that combo break earlier from Jackpax is going to be a huge issue. But there's Fier, another big break here for widepeepoHappy.
Yeah, that's what they wanted to avoid. You don't want to be behind in terms of score on the opening pick, but Penguinzy is going to trade. I also love Uma is also dropping now. B-Prod, the only full combo on the side of widepeepoHappy, but he does drop. I just cursed him, sorry.
There goes B-Prod, and it's just...
combos.
Yeah, that's it. There's no full combos here for widepeepoHappy, but greasemonkey soaring ahead now, kind of exploding that lead ahead. Melva and Papercandle just looking good. And that big stream there does trip up Papercandle, but Melva continues to hold. Jackpax has a little bit of recovery. Penguinzy does break, so does B-Prod. And there's the drop from Melva. Finally, no more full combos for greasemonkey.
I don't think it's going to matter, though, because there are just no significant combos on the side of widepeepoHappy.
No, it's just I also love Uma. And despite that recovery from widepeepoHappy, Bazinga's dead does drop, but Fier and B-Prod do have a good recovery, but it's not going to be enough. I think that big combo there from Melva is what's going to continue to bring greasemonkey that early point. And Melva hitting that full stream, same with Papercandle, securing that score by about 150,000. greasemonkey take the first point and a break point at that as well in this normal 2.
Yeah, the opening break point really hurting widepeepoHappy. I mean, the scores were decently close. It wasn't won by much, but it was just a little bit enough to take that opening break point. Unfortunately for widepeepoHappy, the chain miss is really not helping them. We see the 19 miss score, and on the other side, the 1 miss on Melva really carrying their performance. Also, the amazing accuracy by Papercandle.
I think accuracy definitely was a close bout, but in terms of combo game, I think that early kind of crumble from widepeepoHappy gave greasemonkey just that bit enough time to lead, especially from Papercandle and Melva. Those two combos really outshine any of the combos here from widepeepoHappy, which kind of, despite the fall from Jackpax, I think Jackpax unfortunately struggled a little bit, couldn't maintain a big enough combo, kind of struggling to get past that 500 combo mark. But thankfully, he's got his teammates to back him up, and his teammates have gotten his team a huge breakpoint, and now they got a chance to go for another one.
Quite unfortunately also for B-Prod. If I'm not mistaken, he only missed on 1 stream, as his accuracy was above 99, so really consistent on that map. Unfortunately, missing halfway through the map really cut his score in half.
Yeah, ScorV2 is so unforgiving. A miss at halfway, which in theory should be one of those misses where you shouldn't really be too upset about it, but with ScorV2, completely slices your score in half. It is really brutal. You have to hope if you do get one miss, it's very early or very late. Otherwise, you're going to get punished massively. But No Mod 4 is what's going to be picked next here for Grease Monkey.
On paper, this is looking quite favored towards them if you look at the rosters and the performances.
Yeah, I can agree. Grease Monkey do have a much stronger tech player. Malva in particular, I think, is one player that's going to stand out here for Grease Monkey. Also, same probably with Kadama.
If you know your tournament maps, this was the No Mod 4 for the semifinals round of OWC 2020. So now it's RO32 map, so that just shows how much harder the pools got in those tournaments.
And it's a Frequitus. I always don't know how to pronounce that name. It's so weird to pronounce, but you know who this artist is. You can read them. You know who they are. Really iconic song, iconic real easy map. And if you're a fan of OWC 2020, you are definitely familiar with this No Mod 4. This No Mod 4 is some real easy aim control heavy tech with lots of slider aim, a big key eye on the first third of the map, ramping up lots of BPM, and generally repeats with other key eyes ahead of the time. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of kick sliders. You're going to see a lot of frightening slider aim. You're going to see a lot of aim control. And Grease Monkey and Paper do look a lot more comfortable on this. They've got some great tech players. I already mentioned them earlier. Malva, Kadama, Salvatore as well. Paper Candle probably is going to be in there.
Yeah, especially like to mention Kadama and Salvatore because they're from Thailand, which is a country which historically has not attracted a lot of attention in like big tournaments like OSU World Cup. And recently, they kind of came out of nowhere and performed really, really well, especially Salvatore. So, looking to see how he can perform on this opening pick.
Question is right now, Subaru, what do you think widepeepoHappy are going to run? Because granted, they've got a few solid, kind of well-rounded tech players. I think B-Prod's probably the most notable player here.
B-Prod is definitely a core player for sure. I don't really know. Maybe we can see Kalanlu for something like that.
If I was to kind of give it a little bit of a look, I think we're going to see Kalanlu here. I think we're also probably going to see Flames Tier on this.
Yeah, Flames Tier definitely.
VA? Yeah.
But yeah, I think B-Prod is going to be in for most of these picks. He's one of the main core players on this team.
Yeah, GLA Chefs are being exchanged. Musu going to be loading into the map. This No Mod 4.
B-Prod, Kalanlu with VA. I also love Uma. Once again, great predicting on your side.
Yeah, thank you.
Jackpack is staying in. Actually, 3 of the 4 players, only one switch on Grease Monkey's side. Salvatore coming in.
I don't think Penguinzy was there either, actually, for Grease Monkey.
Yeah, he was there on the first map.
Oh, he was? Oh,
yes.
I must have forgotten.
So it's only one switch per side, 2 players chicks. And here we go. And this is going to be quite the slider tech show.
Yeah, as already mentioned, you already see quite a lot of aim control here, quite a lot of weird kick slider patterns. And you can already see a few misses here, multiple in fact. Salvatore, Penguinzy, B-Prod, Malva, many early breaks.
No FCs on Grease Monkey already.
No, none. It's just VA here, and I also love Uma. These 2 players are kind of holding on to their FCs for widepeepoHappy. But granted, this is very early stages. Kalanlu already has a phenomenal recovery, but as I say that, he does drop his combo again. So that's another reset for widepeepoHappy, but Grease Monkey have got sort of recovery. Penguinzy, Malva, both recovering.
It is to be noted that this map, as a tech map, as far as tech map goes, this map is really, really long. It's over 3 minutes long. Those No Mod 4 maps usually tend to be on the shorter side, more explosive maps, but there is time to come back. It's not over yet, despite the combo advantage.
Considering this being 3 minutes long, there is a lot of time. Can definitely agree. So far, though, widepeepoHappy, VA and I also love Uma continue to hold on to their combo, but I think we're going to be going into the Ki very soon. And B-Prod, unfortunate miss from him. He's going to lose a big combo unless that was Bancho, and it was Bancho. I take it back. He holds on.
See Jetpacks though. Salvatore trading with Kalanlu, but all the combos in favor of widepeepoHappy. I also love Uma finally dropping, but it is still the full combo on VA.
it's just Fie. If Fie against Melva, Fie continues to keep him at bay though. Multiple breaks from both teams. It still remains in favor of widepeepoHappy, but we're seeing a little bit more breaks from widepeepoHappy, so it has to be Fie to hold. Melva refuses to let go of his combo. He is losing in the accuracy battle, but he does have a decent recovery from Salvatore. Nothing to be rivaled against widepeepoHappy, so Salvatore remains for the most part uncontested. So slowly but surely, Grease Monkey could recover from this. But Fie, he's got to hold on. He can't back down. The break comes through. The nerves could be really impactful here. We're going into the final third of the map, and we're going to see a lot more Kickstarter jumps, a lot more opportunities to see potential slider breaks. And this is where these two big combos are going to matter the most between Fie and Melva.
The first to break between those two is going to be detrimental.
Absolutely. And we see a lot of recoveries as well from both teams. Kalanlu and Salvatore in particular.
Final quarter of the map. I also love Uma dropping. Not the biggest combo. B-Prod dropping. That's going to be a little bit more significant. It's still very close. It's only 90k points. Anything can happen.
It really is these two combos. They still refuse to break. Salvatore still holding on to a recovery, but those two misses from widepeepoHappy could be what slowly flips it if someone else breaks. Kalanlu still remains to hold that supporting combo, and Melva is not backing down from Fie. He's
going to be
trailing,
very close. It's going to
but
be.
it's getting close. Yeah, there's not much time left.
It's going to be determined in the final seconds.
Oh my gosh!
It's shifting over. It's flickering.
And it seems to be going back to Grease Monkey
here.
There's no break, but there's Melva!
Melva drops. It is Fie with the full combo. Kalanlu with the recovery. Fie drops.
Fie! Oh my gosh.
The final patterns of the map, it is flickering.
There are no additional breaks here from Grease Monkey. The supporting combo won it.
Oh my god.
As soon as Melva broke, I thought that was it. I thought that was over, but the ending just kept on going. And Fie, despite getting an admirable combo, an S rank, just broke towards the very end, and that flipped it. It really was the supporting combo that won the map there. We saw multiple breaks here from widepeepoHappy that led to a small disadvantage creeping up on widepeepoHappy because Grease Monkey just had a brilliant recovery. Penguinzy, Jackpacks, and Salvatore all backing up Melva towards that late stage, keeping their nerves intact and swinging the victory back in their favor.
That slider break score is heartbreaking on Fie. He did everything he could to bring it back to his team. Only 20k points difference. It is going to be a confirmed point for Grease Monkey. They're up 2-0. Man, such the carry performance on Melva and Fie, but battling it out on the big combos. And Kalanlu, only one recovery combo on the side of widepeepoHappy, 2 recovery combos on the side of Grease Monkey, making the difference.
Yeah, despite those 2 massive combos, it really was supporting combo that won it, man. And it was those 2 breaks towards that key eye from, I believe it was B-Prod, and I also love Uma.
So far, we are pretty much sticking to what we said in the intro of this match. Really close match. The first point, about 150k difference, and here a 20k difference.
Question is, what is widepeepoHappy going to pick with next? They've lost a huge opportunity to even out the playing field. Now Grease Monkey are 2 points up. But widepeepoHappy do have a chance to get a point on the board with the next pick.
Do they go hidden? Do you think they go hidden? No mod 3.
I think hidden is a valid option. They could go for hidden 1 or hidden 2. They definitely have a solid squad for it, especially having Kalanlu and B-Pro there. Both very prominent hidden players. But they are going to go for no mod 3. Again, a solid map for this team. They've got a great roster for it. B-Prod, Flamesir, I also love Uma, all 3 of them. Very solid all-round no-mod players.
So far, Fie has been really solid in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Fie has been very flexible.
And actually, the carry performances we were expecting from Kalanlu and B-Prod, it was the 2 players we didn't really mention at the beginning of this map who had the bigger combos. So far, Grease Monkey's been slightly above in terms of performance, but is really close. It could go either way. So, widepeepoHappy hoping to get their first point on the board with this no mod 3 pick.
So far, we've only seen no mod maps being picked here in this match. 3 maps in, and no additional mod has been picked. No free mod, no hard rock, no hidden, no DT, nothing. Just no mod so far. They're really burning out, exhausting their early options here. No mod 3 is going to be the 3rd map picked. Sakura Blossom difficulty, Aura and Romancia, mapped by God K. This is a 148 BPM, 3.5 minute long ult map. But aside from that, it's pretty alright. It's pretty flow aim heavy, 2019 style.
Yeah, that's what concerns me actually, as we could find similar issues as on the Nomad 2 pick, is if you start having the nerves building up and start shaking on those flowing types of map, it could definitely cost you a huge amount of score with chain misses.
Yeah, as mentioned, this Nomad 3 is a little bit unique in its styling, kind of rooting back to 2019 ult, which is much more chill, much more flow aim heavy. Lots of quite a bit of tricky space circle streams as well. I think that's probably one of the outstanding parts of this map. It does have a few sections where they really ramp up the spacing shortly and really ramp up the difficulty. Circle streams is going to be a big threatening pattern here on this map, which could lead to a few important breaks.
Yeah, there is this one linear triangle stream like halfway through the map right before the solo that is also very tricky.
The zigzags. High space zigzags, probably the hardest pattern in the map that we're probably going to be paying the most attention to.
So we are seeing players wishing good luck. We're about to see the rosters. So we'll probably expect players like Kalanlu and Salvatore being back in.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me to have those guys in. Basing's dead is another. I keep saying Basing's. Bazinga's dead is probably another player who I think could potentially pop up in this roster, considering he's very solid on the flow aim.
Yeah,
and he is.
And props to you, because I'm not even risking trying to pronounce his name.
Yeah, you gotta take the risk. Yeah, I had to play in 3WC with a team. I think it was team Singapore. Was it Singapore? I don't remember which team it was, but they all named themselves after VTubers, and it was really annoying.
It was Indonesia.
Indonesia, that's it.
Yeah, it was Indonesia.
Yeah.
And so we do see the early miss on I Also Love Uma, right on the ending pattern of this intro. So a slight combo advantage in favor of Grease Monkey so far. This is also quite a long map, so not going to be detrimental, but I hope I Also Love Uma can find his footing and come further into this map.
Yeah, this map being 3.5 minutes long, you're going to have to really hope for an outstanding combo here. Kadama and Jackpacks are going to break for Grease Monkey. Just Salvatore, remember, holding on to their FCs. But so far so good, widepeepoHappy. They're probably going to take the lead in just a moment as long as they don't get a break in this Ki.
So far, the accuracy is really solid on the right side of the screen. 399 scores, only 2 now, but VA about reaching this 99.
Only major outlier here being Salvatore, still holding on to the FC and the SS, but dropping it as I say that. I do love cursing.
Of course. Already an expert cursor, despite barely starting. Kadama's going to miss once again.
It's another break from Kadama. Not a situation that you want to be bumping into, because widepeepoHappy are slowly extending their score, getting just over 100k now, and gaining more and more now. This is a huge combo gap here. Only 2 FCs compared to 3 and basically 4 if you consider that early break from I Also Love Uma. It's not really too detrimental, especially with backing up a high accuracy. Kadama lacking that recovery and that third full combo, but it will be Kalanlu to get another break.
And that was the halfway break, really going to hurt his score. However, it is still the combo advantage for widepeepoHappy. We're about reaching the halfway point. The hard patterns are coming in. So far, they look a lot more comfortable. This is reassuring for the second pick. And here comes a linear sprint.
Zigzags!
And 2 misses.
3 breaks.
2 misses on the left side. 3 breaks in total.
The most important thing to mention about this, though, it's I Also Love Uma who broke for widepeepoHappy. The 2 major combos for both teams do not go down. But it's the supporting combo from Kalanlu, which is going to continue to keep widepeepoHappy with this lead. We're going into another bit of a longer kind of streamy section here, but it doesn't seem to catch anybody out. It's these 4 combos that you have to pay attention to, and another break from Kalanlu.
Yeah, the slight recovery advantage now on Grease Monkey's side. The lead is about 100k, so it should stay in favor of widepeepoHappy as long as nobody breaks.
Oh no, Bazinga!
And Bazinga's dead, is gone.
That's gonna be really detrimental if we don't see a break very soon.
Yeah,
from Grease Monkey.
Coming back fast.
It's got to be Melva or Salvatore to break if widepeepoHappy want to contain this lead. VA trying their best. with exceptional accuracy as well. But the score is flipped back to Grease Monkey, Kadama and Jackpacks holding on to their recoveries. I also love Uma.
Melver
Does keep
misses.
one at bay, but Melver's gone,
Kadama.
and so is Kadama. Could this flip back in the last second?
It is only 30k points. Kalanu is going to miss once again, but the lowest combo, the combo
Fia has to
advantage
hold.
is in favor of widepeepoHappy.
Fia has to hold. For the last few patterns, Fia has got to hold.
It's going to be super
And
close.
it's not going to flip.
It's not enough.
Oh,
20k points once again.
Nearly, yeah, just under 20,000. Oh, once again, it is the same pattern where major combos, one major combo from widepeepoHappy at the very end just slips up. And it causes a very, very unfortunate loss where it could have been a lot closer. Even if the timing was a bit different, even if the timing was a little bit later, it could have been a huge shift. But that's the second time in a row we've seen an unfortunate choke from widepeepoHappy. And Grease Monkey are now 3-0 up with their pick as well. And
man, you got to start feeling for Fia, the back-to-back top score lobby and losing both points. And an amazing FC on Salvatore as well. But now it is 3-0, Grease Monkey with their own pick coming, so a potentially 4-0 opportunity. And considering two of these points having only a 20k difference, it's pretty hard on the mental for widepeepoHappy.
And instantly, Grease Monkey are going to go for the double time 3. They're instantly going to go for that high level speed, high BPM speed. Definitely going to be running in Penguinsy. Definitely going to have Jackpacks.
And we should also see B-Prod come back on the side of widepeepoHappy. Ah, man. Those two insanely close points, back-to-back, 20k, 20k, no mod 3, no mod 4. I'm sorry, no mod 4, no mod 3.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say for widepeepoHappy, despite Grease Monkey having a better qualifier score overall, widepeepoHappy do have a very competent double time roster. They do have Fia, they do have Kanochi and Net Nasanya, which we haven't seen play yet, who has been known amongst that team for being quite solid on the double time tapping heavy stuff. So maybe we'll see an appearance from them.
Definitely, and B-Prod should also be able to fill. It's really unfortunate to be 3-0 down when two of these points were so insanely close.
Mm-hmm. You can see it, Bazinga in chat. The nerves getting to him. And this is what we were talking about with these long style maps. If you have a significant combo, it's the consistency that's going to get you far. And despite a huge attempt from Fia, 2 times now are getting a significant advantage for widepeepoHappy, slipped away. It's the consistency that's going to matter, and that's where Grease Monkey has excelled in this match so far.
Yeah, but we're switching things up a little bit, leaving the Nomad pool, and this is more going to be the raw speed challenge than it would be the consistency challenge. 263 BPM.
High mechanics is what's going to be really tested on here. Your strong bursts, your high BPM speed. Nothing too stamina heavy. If you are a speed player, you are comfortable on this. It's pretty okay if you are comfortable with this high BPM burst heavy stuff. But if you're not a speed player, it is quite dangerous territory. So maybe we should be keeping an eye on these filler players who aren't going to be as comfortable as the rest of the players in this lobby.
Yeah, and some of these bursts also have quite the uncomfortable placement. So careful with misaims as well. But yeah, it's insane to see how speed players have improved over the years. Like, this is around the 32, and we're at 263 BPM. Like, what?
Yeah, I know, right? Already in the first round of the tournament, we're seeing a very high BPM speed heavy map. Granted, this is a lot more bursty, a lot easier to control if you're comfortable on that high BPM. And granted, we're probably going to see a much more difficult speed later on. But yeah, it is quite crazy to see something that's such high BPM so early in this tournament. Normally, you'd expect this to be about 240, 235.
But I guess the streams would be longer. It's true, as you pointed out, this is more of a bursty map, not so much a depth stream map.
Oh.
Anyway, I guess we're going to see both VA and B-Prod and for widepeepoHappy.
What are we going to see roster-wise? We're seeing Good Luck Have Fun's being traded. We've already kind of talked about who we think could be playing in this.
Paper Candle is back, actually.
We're going straight into this, Subaru. Paper Candle, Penguinsy, Wenpris, first appearance in this match, and Jackpacks. Not surprising lineup at all.
Netnesanya also first appearance.
Yeah, as mentioned, Netnesanya being one of those core speed players for this team. Popping in for the double time 3. FIA, B-Prod, and I also love Uma also backing him up.
And already you see VA struggling with the accuracy.
Yeah, so far we've only seen a couple. We actually see multiple breaks here. Paper Candle and Jackpacks both breaking along with FIA. B-Prod breaking a lot earlier, recovering though back to about 150 combo. And let me add, this is a Korean fried chicken in the background. I don't know why it equates to this map, but I love Korean fried chicken, so I'm not complaining. But
yeah, I must say, when I hear this song, I don't think about Korean fried chicken right away.
Anyway, we're going to this Kiai, a lot more bursty, a few frightening awkward patterns here and there, and we do see another break from FIA. And holy crap, many misses now. B-Prod, FIA, and Pinkwinzy all breaking.
The combo advantage is still on the side of ResCup23, however, only 2 big combos on the side of widepeepoHappy, with very decent accuracy on the side of Netnesanya. I apologize. Not easy to say.
It is tough to pronounce. Like, I totally agree.
So it's now 2-2 in terms of big combos. Pinkwinzy dropping once again. It's not over yet. Jackback and VA trading once again. VA is really struggling with the accuracy, 90%. Paper Candle, Winfrey still holding. It is the 2v2. I also love Uma dropping. That's going to really hurt their score.
That is a massive break. And on top of that, the actual break comes through where everyone gets to see each other's scores, everyone gets to see each other's differences. And it's Empress standing out here, holding onto the FC still for ResCup23. Paper Candle has a great recovery, but Netnesanya is going to drop. That's the big combo for widepeepoHappy gone. And I think this advantage is going to be so flung ahead in favor of ResCup23. I don't know what else widepeepoHappy can do. Pinkwinzy may break, but it's not the combo that you want to see gone. B-Prod also drops the top combo. widepeepoHappy's gone. And it gets worse and worse for this team. ResCup23 continue to extend it. Paper Candle may break, but Empress remains unstoppable and gets a beautiful FC in this double time 3. ResCup23 are at match point.
Yeah, amazing performance on Empress. You got to feel for Netnesanya dropping on literally nothing and was holding a really impressive score until then. But quite the impressive performance regardless on ResCup23's side, and I don't think Netnesanya alone would have made a difference because both Paper Candle and Empress were holding their huge combos. But yeah,
agreed. Yeah, and what can you do now?
Already with the speed, even though it's round of 32, you already see those teams that are kind of struggling with the accuracy. 3 B ranks on the side of widepeepoHappy.
And it's an unfortunate attempt from Netnesanya. He tried, man, and he had a good combo, but as you mentioned, breaking on practically nothing. It sucks to see. It really does. And now you're going to have to really hope that widepeepoHappy can somehow come back, because ResCup23 have such a tight hold. And yes, despite that, widepeepoHappy do have one more shot, one more pick to go for before ResCup23 go in for their final hoorah that could get them the win. What can widepeepoHappy do? What are they going to pick?
I'm guessing they would probably go for free mod or hidden.
My thoughts, to be honest, is either going to be... Oh, man, actually, I'm not entirely too sure. I mean, you could go for hidden 1 for the comfort. You could go for hidden 2. You do have Kalanlu there in the back, a star reading player on that team. You could go for hidden 2.
And it is to be noted that this was the very first point in the match that was actually pretty one-sided. All three first points had been really closely fought, and this one was really one-sided. You just saw one team having the better skill cap on the speed.
In that regard, do you think that they could go for the free mode 1? Do you think free mode 1 would be a valid option here?
Free mod 1 might work out in their favor with the techie aspect, but I don't know. I mean, they almost won no mod 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Considering that they were very close, and ResCup kind of picked into something that is kind of one of their good strengths. Maybe widepeepoHappy are feeling comfortable, but they're gonna go for the no mod 1.
No mod 1, that's really risky.
That is a dangerous last pick.
Yeah, I would have said free mod 1, considering VA's performance in this match. But on the other side, you do have Salvatore really pulling off great scores on the gimmicky no mod maps. No mod 1, as you said, really, really risky. the consistency test on the potential last pick, it's really risky. Like it's do or die on the aim map.
Aim maps are the definition of consistency, and unless you have a very, very potent aim roster, it's very sketchy to go for a numbered one. It's always a risk. And because this team don't really have, from what I've kind of checked, they don't really seem to have any aim players that are really super outstanding. Granted, they will have some good numbered players like bprod, who's probably who is their top player. Maybe Fie, who despite being more prone on this tapping heavy stuff, struggled on that speed. Maybe gonna excel more on the aim. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
but this is a coin flip. It's a dangerous pick to go for if you don't have a strong, solid core aim team. This Nomad 1 custom by Lit120 is a custom CS 4.5 and 9.6 Nomad consistency aim. It's very standard, very regular. It really is definition of comfort and consistency, but there is a few tough sections. Particularly the end of the Kiais, where there's a lot more slide spam and a lot more streamy, bursty sections, which could lead to a few breaks if they're not prepared for it. Particularly in the slider spam, could see a slider break if someone's not too ready for it. But it really is the final Kiai where we see a big difficulty gap, where we could see a big flip or a big pop off from one of these players. But this is widepeepoHappy's last hope before GreaseMonkey go for that final pick that could seal the deal.
Yeah, as you mentioned though, despite being a relatively conventional Nomad 1 map, those end of Ki patterns with the space streams and the slider jumps definitely could trip up a few players, my apologies. Which, in the case of widepeepoHappy, could be fatal, because you're really looking to get a big score to match GreaseMonkey's overall really great performance in this match. It has been clutch on 2 of these maps, but so far they just have been slightly more consistent. And when you're facing a team that is just slightly more consistent, going for the aim consistency map is quite a questionable pick.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I definitely agree. Considering the fact that consistency has been a big downfall for widepeepoHappy by very close margins, it's a bit questionable to go for the Nomad 1. But maybe it's a last hurrah. Maybe they got something up in their sleeve. Maybe they've got a few solo scores that were very potent. Maybe he has the potential to pull an upset win here. But I honestly see,
good lucks
if we are comparing both of these rosters here, I would say GreaseMonkey do have a small edge, but not by much.
So we do have the rosters, both bprod and Fie, alongside Bazinga's Dead and Kalanlu for widepeepoHappy.
Kalanlu on Nomad 1.
And Kadama, Wentbris, Melver, and Jackpax on the side of GreaseMonkey. Those rosters are looking pretty solid. I would say, on paper, for this map, the roster of widepeepoHappy would have the edge, but then again, it has been really close on some of these maps, so you never know.
And this being a bog standard Nomad 2, it is quite long.
Wentbris dropping the ACK early on a little bit, giving the slight edge towards widepeepoHappy. But so far it's only based on accuracy. I mean, we could see an 8-way, who knows?
Maybe so. There's hopes, because so far there are no breaks, but we are going to be going to the Ki, where the difficulty starts to ramp up just a little bit, but really not by much. There aren't any really super major diff spikes until the ending. And you can see these slider jumps in the streams, and there's Kalanlu, who's going to be the first drop here for widepeepoHappy. No one seems to be trading it here for GreaseMonkey. Everything seems clean so far, but there goes Kadama. It's even Stevens now. Both teams have an equal number of FCs, but there goes Bazinga.
Bazinga's Dead is gone, and now it's 3-2 in terms of full combos. In terms of combo at all, there is a very slight recovery on Kalanlu, but not nearly enough to match a full combo. It is now the 2 French players matching Wentbris, Melver, Jackpax. And the accuracies on Melver and Jackpax really, really solid. They're really seeming very comfortable. VA also a very high accuracy. But as you said, those streams tripping up, and Wentbris is actually on the slow BPM section.
I think it was a little missing there if I saw it right. A little bit of an issue on that 1/3 section, tripped him up just a little bit.
Yeah,
and it's gonna give the combo advantage here to widepeepoHappy, but not by too much. The score lead still remains in favor of GreaseMonkey, but it will slowly start edging towards widepeepoHappy. bprod does drop, but Fie does remain. Kalon drops as well, though, and the consistency is once again becoming a flaw for widepeepoHappy. The combos from Melva and Jackpacks continue to dominate this team. And FIA trying their best, but there's nothing they can do. Bazinga's dead, may get a recovery, but Kadama's keeping that at bay, and Empress and Jackpacks are just completely uncontested. Empress may drop, but that really is not the drop that you want to see.
Yeah, it's almost 200k. You would need to see Jackpacks and Melva drop their combos right now, basically, for a comeback.
Soon, yeah.
And Bazinga's dead is starting the recovery to help out FIA, but it's just not enough because he's matched by Kadama. B-Prod and Kalonlu now almost at 400 combo, but it's just not going to be enough against those two swoop combos of Melva and Jackpacks. Jackpacks still on the SS, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, Jackpacks is looking so incredibly comfortable. You're going to have to really hope it's a nerve that drops it. B-Prod and Kadama both drop. Not a good situation. You still want these to break. You still want Melva or Jackpacks to break. FIA is trying so hard to keep this intact.
Jackpacks and Bazinga's dead are trading.
May drop.
But it's
so
still
does
FIA against
Bazinga's
Melva.
Oh, I don't think there's enough time.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough score for FIA left, even if Melva dropped right now. And Kalonlu is dropping the biggest recovery combo. I think it's over. Unfortunately, widepeepoHappy really put up a fight on some of these maps, but it is going to be the 5-0 win for Grease Monkey.
Melva may drop, and FIA with a beautifully valiant effort, once again being that standout player for widepeepoHappy, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Despite multiple really close maps, Grease Monkey will be the team that takes the first match.
And
5-0, and advancing into the round of 16 winner side.
After 3 insanely close maps, what a win, 5-0 in stylish fashion for Grease Monkey, ending it with an FC on Melva. Melva, potentially the star player for their team, really standing out. And on the side of widepeepoHappy, FIA, as you pointed out, the amazing performance. Nearly 3 FCs, as he did slide a break in the end of Nomad 4. Really, really solid performance.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say FIA really was the MVP of this team. And despite having a few close runs, just wasn't enough. Grease Monkey will advance, but this isn't the end of widepeepoHappy's journey. They will be going down to the losers bracket where they can still make a run. But Grease Monkey today are your victors, and will be advancing into the round of 16 winner side.
What a win. What a hard-fought match. And in my pick'ems, I did put Grease Monkey as winners, but I had it going to TB, actually, because as you saw on some of these maps, on 3 of these maps, it was insanely close. It could have gone either way, really.
Agreed.
One, not by much, but it was enough for Grease Monkey to take the 5-0 win. And it is not over yet for widepeepoHappy, dropping down a loser bracket.
Yeah, they still got a chance. There's still a chance. Round of 32, despite being the most exciting round, is also that round where no one really is down for the count. No one is down and out. No one is gone. There is still a chance for everyone to come back, even if they lose their first match here. But that is going to be it for this match for now. We do have another match coming up in about 15 minutes between Essa and Napa Denizimov. I tried very hard to pronounce that. Napa Denizimov and Essa are going to be playing in about 15 minutes. The stream will still be up. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys very, very soon. But thanks so much for watching this match. Hopefully, you'll be here for this banger match between Essa and Napa Denizimov. I think this is quite a dominant seeding difference, but big names, big maps. So
yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Essa definitely looking to be one of the main contenders for the title in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
But yeah, we'll keep that off for now. We'll see you guys very, very soon. And yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll see you in like 10 minutes, something like that. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for watching, and thank you, Shiba, for the cast.